Hello everybody and welcome to this video in which we are going to be going over indexing in Python. Indexing being how do we get hold of values, how do we grab hold of them, right? Specifically indexing for a list and for a list inside a list, and also for tuples or tuples inside lists. If you don't know what I'm talking about, tuples and lists, go check out the technique cards and the videos. Going to assume you know what they are. So here we're looking at, yes, a list at the top, called it fruit. It's a list of strings. Now, if I just print out that, we should get, and we will get, of course, the whole list. There we go. Imagine we want to get just the first item, apple. Well, we're just going to index it using square brackets. And then in there, we're going to put the number. And if we put 1, you're thinking maybe you're going to get apple. But hold on a minute. Let's have a look what we get. We get cherry. Cherry. Why is that? Because actually Python counts from 0. So actually the first item is index 0. 0. So 0 is this item, apple, 1 is cherry, 2 is banana, 3 is strawberry. And now if we do this just to prove a point, yeah, okay, now we get apple. And that's really simple, indexing of items in a list. Let's do a tuple as well maybe, not fruit, I don't know. Let's put names, and we're going to set it up as a tuple. So names, and we're going to have Bobo, and we are going to have Lisa, like that. Okay, so there's a tuple, and then we're going to index it. So we're going to print, I'm going to use this tuple names as square brackets, notice, and we're going to index it to 0, like so. Just save that and print, not print it, but run it. As you can see, we get apple, then we get Bobo. Why? Because I forgot to comment that out, but that's where we're getting the apple, and then Bobo because it's index 0. As I said, Python is going to go from 0, count from 0. Of course, if we change that to 1, you know what's going to happen, of course, but let's just prove it. Yeah, we get Lisa, so apple and Lisa. Okay, so that's a fairly simple use case. But what about if we get something like a list, and in the list, instead of just like this, we've actually got, let's say, tuples inside the list, right? So let's do that. So we're going to have a list of tuples for whatever reason. Let's put apple here, and then we're going to put banana, like that. Or maybe I'm trying to make it a little bit more realistic. It's kind of tricky with this kind of stuff. I don't know. Let's put different types of apple. What types of apple? We've got Braeburn. Is that an apple? I think it's an apple. Type of apple, Braeburn. And Granny Smith, I think, is an apple. I seem to remember a Granny Smith is an apple. So there's a tuple, and let's just kind of delete. It's probably confusing with all of this stuff here as well. So let's just get rid of all of this, right? And let's just kind of show, so you can see like that, right? Fruit, we've got a list. You can see the square bracket. So we're creating a list, but in the list we've got tuples. So the first item in the list is a tuple, right? Okay. Well, then how would we get access to that? I mean, if we just print fruit, right, at the moment, well, what do you expect you're going to see? Well, let's find out. Let's clear this, and let's just see. Okay, we get this. We get both. We get in the list, but it's a list of tuples, so we're getting the whole tuple, right? So what if I index it and say, okay, well, I'm going to index it to 0, expecting maybe I get Braeburn, right? But hold on a minute, I still get the same thing because the whole tuple is the item in the list, right? So how would I get Braeburn? I would actually need to drill into the tuple. So after I've indexed that it's item 0 in the list, which is the apple tuple, I then, yes, just do this. See, I just then drill into it. So I'm saying, okay, computer, first of all, grab the first item in the list, which is the tuple, and then in that, give me the first item in that tuple, which is Braeburn, okay? And then, when we do this, we get Braeburn. Of course, if I wanted to get Granny Smith, what would I do here? Well, you're smart, you got it 1. So I say, okay, get me the first item in the list, it's the tuple, the apple tuple, and then from that, get me the second item, which of course is indexed to 1, 0, 1, and that will be Granny Smith, or we would expect it to be, and it is. Let's just kind of showcase this here by adding in another tuple. So I'm going to come down here to make it more clear. This is the second item in the list. So the first tuple is item 0 in the list. This is going to be a tuple, and it's going to be item 1 in the list. This is going to be, and now I get now I get unstuck with my example of fruit because I don't know species or types of banana. I don't know, they're just all bananas, yellow and green. All right, yeah, we'll have green. Okay, there we go. Green, banana, and that's the first item in this tuple, the banana tuple, and then yellow, which is kind of the colour you'd expect, I hope, right? So that's actually, so this is 0, this tuple is 0, the apple tuple is 0, and then the banana tuple is 1. And now, if I do 0, 1, I'm still expecting Granny Smith, right? But what if I were to change this to 1? 1, 1. Ah, well then it would be saying, okay, computer, from the list fruit, which is 2 tuple, right? This is the 0, this is index 0, Braeburn, Granny Smith, and then this is index 1, green and yellow. So it would get this, green, yellow, and then of course it would go to item 1 in this. Well, green is 0, and then yellow is 1, so it should print yellow, okay? Hope you're following, I'm sure you are. There we go, yellow. And then if I was to put 1, 0, what would I get? Well, we expect green because it goes 1, which is the tuple green, yellow, and then it gets item 0, which is green, so we expect to see green come out, and indeed it does. And that's how you can kind of double index, so to speak. It doesn't just work through tuple, it could also be a list of lists, right? So you can have a list of lists. So we got this empty list, and then let's put in a list. So after, see, we're putting the list inside the list, and we'll go with the same example. So Braeburn is there, and then we're gonna have Granny Smith like that. You know, why not? Let's put another one into this, just so we can see that as well. Another type of apple. I don't know, tasty. That could be a type of apple as well. Tasty apple. Not that I'm saying that these aren't, but I'm just saying this is really tasty apple, like that. And now, if I come down here, I can index it to 0, which is the list, Braeburn, Granny Smith, tasty. But I could also index to 2. 0 Braeburn, 1 Granny Smith, 2 should be tasty, so that should print tasty. Okay, tasty apple, lovely job. There it is, tasty apple, yum, yum, yum. Okay, and just put in another list. So come down here to make it clear. I'm going to put in another list here. And this can be the banana list again. What did we have? We had green, and we had yellow, and you could just have that. You don't have to have the same number of items in each, but let's have black as well. The best type of banana is when it's gone all black and squishy. Lovely, lovely, really sweet and wonderful. So we got that as well, and now we're going to change this. If I want to get to the banana list, it's not going to be 0, is it? Because that's the apple list, so we need to change that to 1. And then, so that'll be green, yellow, black, and then item 2 will be black. If we go to 1, it will be yellow, and of course if we go to 0, it will be green. So we expect this one to be green, and it is indeed green like so. And of course we could put another list in. We could be here all day long putting lists in. Let's just do another list here just to prove a point. And types of fruit. Really tricky. Melons, you get different types of melon, don't you? Honey. Forgive me if I'm wrong on this. I'm not an expert on fruit. Honeydew is one type of melon, I think. Round, you get round melons as well, don't you? And sweet ones as well, I guess. I don't know if they're actually like technical proper terms for them, but anyway, it's just to prove a point that we can do more than just 2 lists in the list. We've got a list of lists, remember. These are lists inside a list, and we index it to 2, of course, like that, because 0. The 0 list is this one, this is the 1 list, this is the 2 list, and let's then just index it to 1. We haven't done that in the middle yet, which should be round, of course, because we're going 0, 1, 2, and then 0, 1, so that should hit round, and I bet it does. Let's save it, and indeed round. Okay, like so. So that's how we can index into lists, how we can index into tuples, and indeed even better how we can index into a list inside a list or a tuple inside a list. Okay. Square brackets, really, that's the way you're going to be doing it. Okay, hope you enjoyed the video, hope it was of use, and as always, until next time, take care.